Okay, this is a two-player game of Rummy Cube. First thing you do is lay out all your cubes, put up your two boards like so, and then shuffle. And shuffling is just push them around. Each player just pushes them all back and forth and shuffles the cubes. Okay, the cubes are shuffled. Once they're shuffled, you make stacks of 7. This is how it should look after you're done. You'll have one left over. Whatever that number is, which is number 11, you count from either side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Pull that one off and place that one there. That becomes the Meister stack. So that stack has 8 in it. Whoever's deals that to the next person to their right. And then deals himself 7, deals himself another, deals the other person another 7, and deals himself 7. And then they take this one and they put it here to signify that's where we draw from. Now you organize your tiles on your board, just like so. I break them down by color code, and you can break them down like I did here with everything that is the same number but in different colors. So right there I would have 100 points, because when you have 1, 1, 1, 1, that's 25 points apiece, and the joker counts as an extra 25 and can be any cube. So I have double big. If I had anything 9 to 1, I would have double small. So I say I have double big. The other player then will say if they have double big or double small. They have double small. So therefore they don't have double big or dice. So they don't have double big, so we can't exchange. But they do have double small. And I'm just going to show an example of how that works. If I had double small, they would say double small, and then you put it down face down, and they take theirs and they put it down face down, and they shift them back and forth and place them in. But in this game, neither one had double big, had anything that you could change. Meister, which is the guest one here, has 14. So he starts the game. He's the first to discard. That's all he can do is discard. Once the Meister has discarded, it will be my turn to play. The first thing you do on any round is draw. So I draw 1. And I got an 11, which I cannot use. In order for me to come out on the board, I have to have 45 points. So right now I have 100 points, but I cannot come out because I have to have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have to have running numbers. So in order to come out, no matter how many points you have in the sames, you still have to have a running number combination. 10, 11, 12, you could come out. And it has to tally up to 45 points. 10 to 13 are worth 10 points. 9 through 1 are worth 5 points. Once you played the game to where you're back down to where that number is facing up, number 11, whichever stack count you had, you go over and you take another stack and you place it on top of the 11, and that is to the new draw deck. Now I have 115 points. I can come out onto the board, and by coming out onto the board, what I mean is you do this. So now I'm out. Even though I just came out, I still have to discard. So again, it is my turn. I draw a blue 1. So if I was the other player, I could use that 1 to steal the joker. But if I steal the joker, I have to be able to build with it something that's in my hand. So I can't just steal the joker and just put it in my hand. I have to be able to build with it. So I place that there. I look over. And I can't add to anything to his. So now it is my turn to discard. And I want to discard the black 10. It's the other player's turn. The other player is not going to draw. He's going to take from the discard pile. And when you take from the discard pile, you have to take from the most recent discards back. You don't take from the end up. And whatever number you start at, you have to build line with. And then you have to also take all these. So he takes 12, 12, 12, places them down. He also got the 5 and a 10. He places the 10 here. He can build on his already stacks, or he can build on my stacks. He also has a blue 1. So he takes that blue 1 and changes out for their joker. And then this is set. It's locked. Nobody else can add to that column because all the ones of different colors have been added. He takes the joker and he builds 7, 8, 9. And as you can see on his, the 13s are set. If somebody had the black 1, they could play it there, or a black 9. And he has another 5, which he can't do nothing with, and he discards. Okay, on this player's turn, when you take from the discard pile, you do not draw here. You only take from the discard pile. So I'm going to take the 9, and I'm going to build 9, 8, 10. Then I have all these left over. And I can't add any of it into my hand. So I discard the 7 and I keep all these. The game has progressed. Once you get down to 3 chips, you say I'm at 3. And that notifies everybody that you can still take from the discard pile, but you cannot, once you get down below 3, you cannot draw from the discard pile. And then you say I have 2, and then you say I have 1. You let each player know once you get to 3 how many you have. The other player's turn. He draws a black 5. Can't use that, but he's going to take the 4. And since he's already waited a whole turn, since he's come out on the board, he can start playing on the cards over here. And what he does is he places that 4 down and takes the 5 that is worth 5 points and places it upside down on his side. Example of adding is I just drew a 12, so I have 12, 13. They have 9, 10, 11. So I want to add the 12 and 13 to theirs, and I take my same value, 20 points, back, and then shift it over. So someone could still play the 8, or they could play the 1 as an ace. My round begins. I draw an 11. I told them before I already had 3. So I go 9, 10, 11. In order for me to go out, you have to discard. So there, I'm out. So now you count up your points. The winner has 100, for the 4 ones because they count as 25 when they're in this configuration. He's got 10 there. That's 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 165. Winner of the game gets an additional 50 points. So winner of that round gets an additional 50 points. If you don't come out onto the board at all, and the guy wins, the other players win, and you are left with all your cubes on your slate, that's an automatic minus 100 points. So you go down minus 100. Now we'll tally up the other players' points. When you have here, everything counts. So whatever he has in his hand, you subtract that from his points that he has on the table. So here's a 10, that cancels out this 13. Here's another 10, that cancels out that 13. That 13 is worth 10 points. I got 10 here, 2 5s, that's 10 points. There's another 10 points. A 7 and a 1, and since he has a 1 left in his hand, that counts as 25 points. So you don't want to get stuck with a 1 in your hand if you think the other person's going to go out, because that sticks you with 25 points. If you get stuck with a joker in your hand and the other person goes out, that's a minus 50 points. So he counts up. The joker counts as whatever it was played at. So 5, 10, 15. Then he has 20, 30, 40. These were the ones that he added to my hand. So he counts those up into his hand. So he came up with a total of 65 points. Okay, the scores are tallied up just like that. I had 165 plus because of 50 because I won the game. So I got 215 points. The other person had 65. And then you just keep going. You're going to 1,000 points. In order to win the game, you have to win the last round. So if you have 960 points and you go over 1,000, but you didn't win the round, the game continues until you win the round and break 1,000 points. So you have to do both in order to be considered the winner. All the dice are turned back upside down. All the leftover stacks are broken back down. And the shuffling process restarts again. And then you rebuild your stacks of 7 and restart the game as it was before.